Your leg is bigger than my head. You must squat over 250 kg. Have you had a BBL? Those are some of the things people have said to me over the past few years, and I want the same thing to happen to you. So if you're struggling to grow your legs, watch this whole video as there's lots of tips inside which you can follow. First, I'm going to start off with a lying hamstring curl to prepare my hamstrings for the next exercise, which is going to be squats. I actually prefer the seated hamstring curl, but this gym and most other gyms I go to don't have it, which is quite annoying. So I've set off with a lying hamstring curl. I'm starting off with a heavy set just to get my mind right for when I do the squats, as in get used to lifting heavy. So you'll see on my first set, the form isn't great, but on the second, third, and fourth set, the form is much better. I'm going to be doing 4 sets, the first set being a heavy set, as you can see on the video right now. The second and third set being normal sets, as in moderate weight with good form. And the final set being a slower tempo set. So what you'll see is that I'll use a lighter weight, and on the way up, I'll go as normal. But on the way down, I'll go very slowly, as in it'll probably take me 3 to 4 seconds to lower the weight. In terms of rep ranges, on that first set, I'm aiming for between 6 and 8 reps, as it is a very heavy set, so I don't expect to get as much. On that second and third set, I'm happy with anywhere between 8 and 15 reps, because no matter what, I'm going to be going to failure anyway, and whether I reach failure at 8, whether I reach failure at 15, anywhere in between that range, I'm happy. On the final set, I go for between 6 and 8 reps, not because that's what I want to get, but because when I use the slow tempo, it is very hard to do more than 8. My muscles just can't go any further. Every single set will be to failure. I don't actually advise this myself because it can lead to overtraining. You should really go close to failure, but not at failure, especially for every single set. But I only train 3 days a week in terms of hard training. And I've been training for a long time, so I'm definitely used to it. I should also mention why I'm using the slow tempo. Well, a slower tempo leads to increased time and attention, which can lead to more muscle growth. It's kind of just a way of increasing the intensity of the workouts. I started doing it just to increase the variety of my workouts, so you could say it was more for a bit of fun, but I've kind of been doing it for the past maybe year or two now, and it's definitely helped me grow my hamstrings, so I've just kept it in the rotation. Next up, we have barbell back squats. Now, I actually took 4 to 5 years off this exercise, mainly because I think that hack squats, leg press, and other exercises are actually better for muscular development in your legs. The only reason I actually added this exercise back in was because I switched gyms, and my new gym didn't have a hack squat, and the leg press, I didn't like the leg press. I found it very awkward. It was different to leg press I was using previously. So then I just decided to go back to back squats, and I have to say I've loved it ever since. While I still maintain that leg press and hack squat are better for leg development, as you're not having to focus on having to balance the weight, you're not having to focus on having to stabilize your core and things. Barbell back squats do still have their benefits, and that's why I've still kept them in rotation, even though I now know a gym, well, a pure gym, that has a hack squat. They're better for your functional fitness. They're better for overall functional fitness, which is important for me, given I play football. They're also better for core development, so if you're struggling to see your six-pack, then I recommend you incorporate this exercise into your routine. And finally, they're challenging. So even though on the day they can be very nerve-wracking and scary, once you've done it, the testosterone boost you get afterwards is there's nothing that really beats it. Before doing squats, I start off with an extensive warm-up. I actually start off with a warm-up before every exercise. While most exercises, it's 2 to 3 sets of 2 to 3 reps using lighter weight, so I can actually adjust to the exercise and get used to the movement. But with squats, it's a much longer warm-up procedure, which is why I'm showing you the whole thing. The warm-up is one, to prepare myself physically, as in if I was just to go start off on 170 kg with no warm-up, I'd probably get injured, I'd probably break my lower back. I wouldn't be able to do many reps because my body wouldn't have adjusted to the exercise. But two, to actually prepare yourself mentally, you'll see it actually does take a lot for me to get mentally ready to do squats, because it is a very hard exercise. That's why I could take up to 5 minutes rest sometimes between sets. On the first set, I'm going to be attempting 170 kg. My previous personal best from last week was 6 reps at this weight, so I'm going to hope I can do 7 or even 8. Now time for set 2, which if anything is even harder because you don't have as much energy and motivation as you did for set 1. Yeah, you're having to lift the exact same weight. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do the exact same number of reps because I'm partially fatigued from doing set 1. But still, I'll definitely say set 2 is the hardest to get up for. Now I'm going to do the drop set of hell. So what I'm going to do is do 140 kg for 10, because it's not possible for me to do 170 kg for a third time. Then I'm going to do 110 kg for 10. And finally, I'm going to do 90 kg for 10. The reason I'm doing this is to improve muscular endurance, which is important for me because I play football. For a lot of you, muscular endurance will not be important, so I wouldn't recommend doing this. But if you want to have some more muscular endurance in your legs, for whatever reason, I'll definitely try this out. Final tip I'd say is that if you are going to do barbell back squats, make sure not to set the bar too high, because 2 weeks ago, I accidentally set the bar way too high and I nearly couldn't re-rack the weight, which obviously could have been dangerous, could have led me to having to drop the weight on the floor, which would have made a loud sound. Or even worse, I could have destroyed my back or something like that. So next, we have hip abductions or adductions. I can't remember which one is which. The reason I do this is to strengthen my groin so that I don't get groin injuries in football. But most of you watching this are men, or in fact, all of you watching this are probably men. So even if I tell you to do this exercise, you're not going to do it. So I've kept this part short and sweet. Next, we have leg extensions. I used to do leg extensions at the start of my workout to help warm up my knees, but it got to a point where I was doing the whole stack on the leg extensions, and the single leg extensions were just taking up too much time. So I decided to find a compromise. I moved leg extensions towards the end of my workout. As I'm pre-fatigued from squats, I'm not able to do as much weight as I am when I do the exercise at my start. And this allows me to incorporate progressive overload into leg extensions. And progressive overload is very important if you want to build muscle. If you count the number of reps I did in the first set, you'll see that I did 22 reps. I would never aim for 22 reps, but I'd already exceeded my target of 15 reps, and this is using 93 kg. It's not no lightweight. But I'm not going to just stop at 15 reps just because I've reached 15 reps. I keep going till I can't do any more, which happened to be 22 reps today. What I'm going to do next week is either increase the weight so I reach failure without going outside of the rep range which I've set for myself, or I'm going to slow down the tempo. Believe me, slowing down the tempo does make a huge difference. Quick interjection, but for a lot of you, this workout may be a bit too intense for you, and that's okay. It took me a long time to get to this point, and I don't expect beginners to follow this workout to the T. And in fact, I actually advise against it because it can lead to overtraining, which can lead to low testosterone, low energy levels, and ultimately less muscle building. So what I recommend you do is take some of the exercises from this workout and add them to your routine, but don't copy the whole workout because it is, as I said, a lot for most of you. I've also got a free leg workout, which you can follow as well, made up of some exercises which I do or have done over the years. I'm going to put it in the description. Check it out if you do want to, I guess, use it. And yeah, let's get straight back into the video. Next, we have dumbbell RDLs. Now, I mainly do this for my hamstrings, but these work your entire posterior chain. A tip that someone gave me a while ago, which I've kept in ever since, is to keep your head up while doing exercise. I don't know why it works, but you definitely feel your hamstrings much more when you do so. As with normal deadlifts, it's also very important to avoid arching your back to prevent injuries. You should also avoid going lower than 90 degrees. Here's another angle of the exercise, just so you can see my form a bit more clearly. Finally, we have Nordic Hamstring Curls, and as the name suggests, this trains your hamstrings. The exercise is much harder than it looks, which is why I'm using no weight currently. Although I am also very new to this exercise, I've only been doing it over the last maybe 2-3 weeks, so it is still something I'm getting used to. I used to actually do 3 sets of dumbbell RDLs and not do Nordic Hamstring Curls at all, but I didn't want to carry 50-kilogram dumbbells 3 times in a row at the end of my workout, so I decided to use Nordic Hamstring Curls where I don't have to carry any weight at all. If you're a beginner, you may struggle to use exercise properly, so I recommend you just stick to lying hamstring curls or seated hamstring curls, as I did at the beginning, and also doing some RDLs if you can. Also, keep in mind that it's the end of my workout, so I don't have any energy at all, so that's why I'm kind of going through the motions a bit on this exercise, even though I am still trying to push myself. But I'm definitely not pushing myself as much as I am on squats, for example. And that was it for the workout. I have to say my pump wasn't great. If you're a gym bro, you know what I mean. If not, hopefully one day you'll understand what I mean. I did feel my legs didn't look that good today, but I've already filmed the whole leg workout. So here's the post-pump pose down as I'm showing you right now. So that's it for this video. Feel free to leave a like if you found it useful, and why not subscribe for more fitness content? As I did mention, this workout is very intense and I don't expect most of you to be able to do the whole thing. But you can still take some of the exercise from the workout and add it to your own routine. As I said, don't follow it exactly. And also, one thing I do want you to take from this video is you need to train very hard. That's whether you train legs, back, chest, whatever. But especially with legs, you do need to train hard. And I hope you've seen from this video, I myself train very hard. Why not follow me on Instagram as well? I'm going to put that in the description too. And yeah, have a great day.